Hey, welcome back to Steve Reads a Comic. I am Shawn. With me is Steve and Rob. What's up, Rob?
Hello.
What's up, Steve?
Fuck you.
Oh my.
I think everybody thought that after our explosive ending to our last podcast, if anybody actually made it that far, they probably thought we ended the podcast permanently. And it was just done. But no, that's a pretty common occurrence, actually.
Yeah, especially when I'm drinking.
There it is. Now he admits it. Son of a bitch.
It only took him 10 days.
Now that the listener knows that I get argumentative when I'm drinking, I think we can tell him the chocolate milk story.
I thought we already told him that.
No, we just mentioned it, but nobody knows what we're talking about.
Really? We've been doing this for 3 years? Nobody mentioned that shit?
It's been like a year. It's been like 1 year. Rob's like, we do this for 9 years. He's like, we're the first podcast to ever premiere and we haven't mentioned it.
We've been doing this since 97. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so go ahead. Tell that story.
Who?
Tell that story to the listener.
Who are you talking to?
You guys. Tell the story.
Okay, I'll tell a quick version. I don't think it's as exciting for other people as you think it is.
Right.
But basically, I think I was visiting Memphis a long time ago.
You were. I have pictures when you tried to hug me.
Was that when we surprised you for your birthday?
Yeah.
Okay,
after I was all heated, somebody took a picture of Shawn trying to hug me and console me, and I'm like, "It's not all right, man. It's not all right."
I think I know that picture, and in your face, like there's just fire in your eyes still. Like you're not having it. You're not trying to get hugged. So me and Bubba, another close mutual friend of ours, went down there to surprise Steve for I think his 30th birthday. Was it that long? It's probably that long ago.
It's been a while.
So we went down there, surprised Steve, and we just spent the whole time eating and drinking and whatnot. And we went to a bar, and Steve, I assume Steve brought this up. I don't know who did, but Steve thinks there's no way in hell anybody actually likes the taste of like beer or liquor. And I understand that because I do not like the taste of beer or liquor. I don't drink it because of the taste. Right? I didn't drink anyway.
No,
but Rob says
not that. It's that. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, Rob says he likes just having a beer, not necessarily to get drunk, but he likes the taste of beer. And Steve was not having it. We were all drinking at this point.
No, I said it was beer tastes better than chocolate milk. Like someone would prefer a beer to a chocolate milk. And I was
like, no, you said nobody would. You said nobody would. That was
he's setting it up. That's how it came up because Shawn, I've known this forever, is he doesn't like alcohol. He doesn't like the taste of alcohol, especially beer, but he'll drink it just to get a buzz, which I've known this forever. Meanwhile,
what most people do.
I have been drinking beer forever. I am my father's son. Dad and I drink old duels, for God's sake, just to get the taste of beer in our mouths. So coming from you, saying you don't like the taste of beer is absurd.
No,
to be a Rocco.
I'm saying if I had a choice,
if I have an argument about the argument now,
how
meta is this?
If I had a choice, the only reason I drink beer is for the effects. If I had a choice of taste, I would choose chocolate milk. If chocolate milk fucked me up, then I would drink chocolate milk. Beer tastes like piss. Like, I don't understand.
And you can have a rum and Coke. You can have a rum and Coke.
Just agree with him. We want to shut this down as quickly. You're right. We're wrong. However, but let's fast forward to Vegas. We all went to Vegas to celebrate, I think, our 10th anniversary like a year or so later. I don't remember. And we found, while we were there, we went to a liquor store and we found a drink called adult chocolate milk. And it was a liquor. It was like a very cheap liquor. It was brown. It looked like chocolate milk. And we bought it and it tasted terrible. It was just bad. Everything about it was bad.
It was not chocolate milk.
But the argument was it was funny. So the reason the argument was funny and that we remember it is because it didn't just end at the bar. Like we go back to Rob's house. We all get in his pool. We're still drinking. We're just all drinking Miller Lights or whatever. And me and Steve and Rob are just going at it. Me and Bub are like at the other end of the pool, just kind of like, how long do you think these motherfuckers are going to argue about the taste of beer? And then it escalated. They got into like personal shit, and we're just like, God damn, dude, just let it go. And like, I just didn't have any skin in the game. I understood what Steve was saying. I understood what Rob was saying. And I have my own stance, which is just everybody has their own taste. And no, I would never drink.
And the conclusion,
and Rob likes the taste of beer, and Steve couldn't accept it, basically.
And the conclusion that we all came to.
That was what it was. Steve couldn't accept that I like the taste of beer. That's what he could not get past. Can get
no
with him. No, stop. Let me finish.
You guys are fucking it up again.
I'm okay with him not liking the taste of beer. Your last name shouldn't be Rocco, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. I can accept that he has different tastes. It's just the fact that he's like, no, you don't like the taste of it. You don't. That wasn't.
There's no way. He's like,
no, you don't like the taste of it better than chocolate milk.
I don't like chocolate milk.
No,
I don't drink chocolate milk.
No.
When have you ever seen me get
the conclusion?
Please let this die.
The conclusion to this argument is Rob is lying. Rob is just lying.
Rob's a liar.
Thank you.
This is why the argument went on, because he still will not accept it. Right. That I do not like chocolate milk better than beer. Right? I mean, oh shit.
I'll start a whole new argument by saying this. I'd rather drink beer than 1% chocolate milk. I'll tell you that. 1% chocolate milk is disgusting.
You, sir, are a liar.
No, I literally, like, when we get Instacart orders and they get us 1% instead of whole milk, I literally throw it goes down the drain and I throw it out. Nobody in my house will drink it. We're like, no. I would literally drink beer over 1% chocolate milk. So let's add that layer to this. I just
wanted to bring that up to show the listener how argumentative I get when I'm drinking. I am not drinking right now, so I can let it go. So
can you? Can you though?
Yeah, it's still bullshit, man. No, come on. like you know.
I don't know why we care. Why do we care?
I don't know, because it's nasty. Beer's nasty.
Look, you made Rob leave. Like, goddamn.
Rob always leaves. He's going to do something. He's plugging in.
I think he had a headset issue.
Getting coffees.
He's having technical difficulties right now. I gotta. Excuse me.
You know what?
I drink water and still burp. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm just drinking water. I haven't had any pop. You
know what I'm having technical difficulties with? I'm trying to rearrange my moralities to where I can not feel like shit about rooting for the Browns next year. And I'm like, every which way I try and rearrange it, it's always like, this doesn't feel comfortable at all. So I'm there right now. It's like, what's better, my morals or a Super Bowl? And like, I really don't know. Like, I'm not sure. That's where I'm at right now.
I don't know what you do in that situation, because I'm not a hardcore sports fan. But I also I do know what I do. I've always said I'm not a good person. So like, Marilyn Manson has all these heinous rape charges against him. I still listen to Marilyn Manson. I have no issue going through and listening to his back catalog. Is that justifiable? No, I'm just not a good person. I don't care. I'd rather listen to Marilyn Manson. If I was a big Bill Cosby fan, I would probably still listen to Bill Cosby himself. That was a special I used to like when I was growing up. And I still like it, but I don't care about it enough to put it on. Okay. I still like Michael Jackson. I like Michael Jackson. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Touching all the kids.
I'm not trying to, say I'm superior to other people. Or,
well, no, I understand what you're saying. No, but I know that. I understand that you're trying to find a way to justify supporting a team that would hire somebody with so many sexual assault allegations.
Right. I'm not trying to virtue signal, but it's just, that's how I felt. Like, when I heard that news, I felt like fucking dog shit, man. I was like, of course, Cleveland, even if they win, I'll still be miserable. Like, that's such a Cleveland thing to do.
See, that's where I told you I'm not going to kid myself. If they go to the Super Bowl, I'm all in.
Yeah. So you're like,
I know my limitations. I know I like beer. I know my limitations.
So you're like Cleveland. You're just like, fuck women. Fuck it.
No, that's not what I said.
Yeah, but you're okay with rooting for a guy who's been charged with. I can see if it's like 1, but god damn, 22.
Oh, I agree with you. We had this conversation. I feel dirty.
No, right? And they gave him the biggest guaranteed money contract in NFL history. And get this, Shawn, his first year, they're only paying him like $1 million. So that means if he's suspended, he loses the least amount of money possible. Like all his money is guaranteed. Like there was no punishment for this dude whatsoever. And they went to Cleveland first. Cleveland turned him down, and then Cleveland came back with a freaking offer he couldn't refuse.
Well,
and he came back.
A lot of that had to do with Baker demanding a trade.
Right.
And now Baker done screwed himself, man. Nobody wants him.
Yeah.
They just signed Marcus Mariota. Just signed with Atlanta.
Yeah, he went and said something, like, "Hey, I've had a great time in Cleveland, whatever." It was all, down in the dumps. But I can see how he's pissed, dude. Like, because he came to Cleveland, he wanted to turn it around. He was fucking hurt last year. I mean, come on, man. Like, at least give the guy one more year. They'll make sure he's got as many playoff wins as Deshaun Watson. Like, what are we giving up the farm for this guy for? It makes no fucking sense, man.
He's a better quarterback. I don't know about a better person. Deshaun Watson is a much better quarterback.
He's a top 5. He's a top 5 quarterback, no doubt. Like, we will be better.
That's why they're giving up the farm, because guess what? Quarterbacks win you Super Bowls.
Yeah, I guess, but at what cost? Jesus Christ, man. We gave up all our first round picks, freaking second round, third, fifth. And
Rams don't have a pick for like 10 years, and they just won the Super Bowl.
We don't even know how long he's going to be suspended for. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. I fucking hate the Browns so much. So much.
The irony of it for me is the fact that Browns, obviously living in Northeast Ohio, Browns fans, all the time we talk about Ben Rapelessberger.
I got a couple Steelers fans at work, and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to say that again. I was like, I've got no recourse for whatever you're going to throw at me.
I will say, I don't think he was accused of rape.
No, but
there is a line drawn somewhere, and where that line is, I don't know. But rape is up. I mean, that's a line.
Most of it's sexual misconduct. There's a couple sexual assault, but like 22 civil suits still out there. Like, who knows how long he's going to be suspended for? I find it
odd that a grand jury with 22 of those alleged against him. The grand jury, like, there was 9 counts or something, and they didn't see any evidence of all 9.
But there's no evidence, though. Like, how do you? That's a
he say she said. Yeah,
right. That's why.
Here's the thing, too, is,
I'm not saying he didn't do it or did do it.
Here's the thing. He definitely did that shit. That's not. You don't get 22. He did that shit. But first of all, I don't understand
if he didn't do it.
I don't understand why you don't just pay a sex worker. Like, why hire a masseuse when you can they have people who will have sex with you for money and with no questions asked, unless he likes that kind of forbidden element to it where I'm going to see if I can get this chick to do this or something like that. And then there's the whole thing too. You guys should just take the conservative stance where, Trump has tons of sexual assault and valid, rape allegations against him, like legitimate like people who are witnesses.
Yeah.
There's lawsuits. You can look this stuff up online. This isn't some Q shit either. This is some real shit that has actual court documents and stuff. And Republicans were just like, nah, he didn't do it. You could just do that. You could do the bury your head in the sand thing. Just be like, no, he's not really a rapist. You guys just made all that up because you hate him. So you can just take that stance. That just shuts everybody down because you can just be like, nah, that's all made up. Yeah, that's fake news. Fake news.
I can say that, but I still feel like dog shit. Though that doesn't help anything. That doesn't cure my situation.
He's one out of 65 players on the team.
I'm disappointed in you guys though because. This actually leads me to something I was going to bring up, which is the whole Cleveland Indians to Cleveland Guardians thing. Conservative people, spineless people I know don't even follow the Cleveland Guardians on Facebook anymore since they changed their name. And you guys are going to follow a rapist. They just don't like that the cartoon Chief Wahoo's gone. And you're like, oh, this guy likes to fucking assault women, but that's okay. He might win. He might win the ball game for us, and that'll be cool.
That's why I brought it up, man. This is therapy. I'm trying to get what you guys think. I'm trying to work through this. I'm having problems. It's not cool. I talked to everybody at work, and I went like from a range of age, all the guys, like range of age, race, background, everything. And for the most part, nobody seems to have a problem with guys pulling their dick out in front of women. Like, no one gives a shit. I'm like, oh,
not surprised.
Okay. So
I'm not surprised at all.
Like, no one thinks
here's the thing
bad.
too. It's a weird thing too. Like, we live in this weird age of proving how much more ethical or moral you are than someone else.
Yeah. And I'm trying not
there's
to
a part of me, but I don't know. I just got to say, I'm glad I'm not of like a fucking Browns fan like you guys are.
Well, I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm trying to be good, but at the same time, like, dude, I sent my kids to Catholic school. Like, how good am I?
Steve,
like, really?
Steve,
right?
Your face was frozen the whole time you're talking about sexual misconduct. It was frozen like this. It was hard to keep it. I couldn't talk to you seriously with your face like.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I cannot pick when it freezes.
Right. I was like, oh, dude, you talk about something.
Like I said, I still listen to Marilyn Manson. So I'm not judging anybody, to be honest. I'm just fucking with you guys. It's between him and those women. And then I don't know what it proves. If you stop watching.
Now that Shawn used that analogy, you can compare it to art, where he is making art on the football field, and it's just the art that you can enjoy, not the person.
Yeah, I mean, if you
I'm not defending my decision even in that way.
Right, I'm not either.
I was gonna say, no, I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to put up any defense. I'm a bad person, and I'm callous, and I don't care about people's thoughts and feelings.
But I also know that if we go to the Super Bowl, I'm rooting for the Browns, baby. I'm sorry. Too many.
and then every time you see a banner that says something about sexual assault, you're just going to have to hang your head.
Yeah, that's what I was telling some of the guys at work. We're like plastering in racism all over the end zone, but nobody's trying to end racism.
I mean,
they're
just donate to the Catholic Church. I mean, what the hell?
Well,
dude?
I don't.
Well, you do.
Well, no,
fundraisers, whatever else, that's going to
okay. All right, fundraiser, I did do that. Other than that, but yeah, I mean, dude, it's a moral conundrum, man. I'm stuck.
I agree.
I feel like shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, and this is why women never come out, because every time they do, shit like nobody fucking believes them, and they can't even believe 22, 23, counts of sexual assault. It's like, what the fuck, man? What are women supposed to do? And I get it. Some of them are probably gold diggers. I get that. But not 22, 23. Come on, man.
I don't think any of them are, to be honest. Yeah, I don't feel like, I don't know. But the good thing for me is Marilyn Manson hasn't made a good album in like 15 years, so it doesn't really impact me. I just, you guys, this is something every week you have to be reminded of. What's the guy's name? Deshaun Watson? Is that his name?
It's not, dude. The Browns are such a big part of my identity, man. Like, I met my wife because of the Browns, basically. Like, I fell in love with her because I started talking to her because she was wearing like Browns gear and stuff. And it's just like, I go back, I think to my dad, all this great times we had, and dude, it's like, I don't want to get rid of the team, but at the same time, like, I don't want to support this douchebag, man. And the Browns, they're the one that made the decision, man. They went after this guy all the way. They were like,
they don't care. They don't give a shit.
Yeah,
They know full well that they're not going to lose anybody over this.
Right. They're running the business. They're trying to make the best business decision. We're no doubt in a better place than we were.
This is the real problem, though, is that just how do we live in a world where one person has all these allegations and they're like, yeah, we'll give you a good job. We'll give you a good, high-paying job that like only a very few, like 1% of people can actually even get this job. We'll give it to you, accused serial assaulter of women. What the fuck is wrong? Like, all this stuff, this is why cancel culture isn't real, because this dude can get a high-paying exclusive job like this after like not because he said something on Twitter, but because he physically assaulted women. That's fucked up. That is just fucked up and wrong.
And they know that we're going to keep going to the games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they know that.
They know full well.
So they take none of the brunt of the responsibility. It's all on the fans. Like, well, if you don't like them, then you got to quit. It's not our fault that we went out here and got this guy. And they paid him all that money, dude. Now he's got all those money to like, pay off the civil suits if he wanted. He could settle with these women now. He's got all these money, which is exactly what the Browns think he's probably going to do. Probably why they gave him all that money. So, dude.
I still think it's funny, the contrast between the fact that Republicans or conservatives or whoever are so butthurt about getting rid of Chief Wahoo and changing the name that they will drop the Indians or Guardians, and you guys are like, nah, I'm still going to watch. They're just upset about a cartoon character.
I bought I got Guardians gear for everybody last Christmas.
You're like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I am.
Republicans are like, they're like, I'm not going to the games anymore. I'm not buying season tickets.
They'll be back. They'll be back.
And they will be back. But it's such a stupid stance. And I've talked about this before. I have a very soft spot for Native Americans and for the intellectually disabled, and that because I feel like Native Americans have been through so much from our country, and they are forgotten, like the forgotten people, and so they finally get this tiny win, if you can even call it that, and there's still people upset about it. It's like, it's so disrespectful to have that logo. Like, and I like Chief Wahoo. I have fond memories of Chief Wahoo. If you just look at it, it's just, you get a nostalgic feeling if you're from Cleveland. But I also understand why it needs to go and why the name needs to go. And you shouldn't have a problem with that. It's like we've learned since then. People have to stop with this mentality of like, oh, it was okay 100 years ago. A lot of different things were okay 100 years ago. Women couldn't even get credit cards till the 70s. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, a lot has happened. We have to grow as people. And if you just refuse to, then you're the problem.
Yeah, I remember my initial reaction was like, no, not Chief Wahoo. Like, that's the chief. And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, yeah, what does it really fucking matter? Who gives a shit, Right.
Exactly. And that's ultimately, it's a little, there is going to be, if you're honest with yourself, you're like, oh man, so many fond memories, cool hats. And then you're like, when you actually think about it, like, and you imagine like wearing that and there's a Native American person in front of you, like, how could you not feel like an asshole? You know what I mean? Like, how could you not just feel like a total fucking dickhead and be like, no, my logo is much more important than the fact that we just fucking genocided your fucking people and then put you, and we're like, you live here now and that's it. Like, and you're just like, but this logo matters, bro.
And then there's the Browns, who bring me nothing but despair every week. And I'm like, no, not the Browns. I was like, why? All they do is cause me misery. They're causing me misery right now. Even if they win the Super Bowl, I'm going to be miserable.
No, you're not. You'll be excited. No, you'll get over that shit real quick.
Dude, you're 42 years old.
You'll have his jersey on if he wins the fucking Super Bowl.
No fucking way, dude. I already vowed not to buy any merch or nothing this year. I'm like, fuck that. And I watch the games illegally, so it's not like I'm paying for them. So
you're not gonna wear your Chubb shirt?
Oh man, I'll support the guys that aren't sexual predators that I know of.
So like, as long as you don't get a Deshaun Watson jersey, you should be okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But it was the Browns' decision. Like, fuck them. Like, they went after that guy. They're like, fuck that shit.
This is all a personal decision for everybody. And I'm not going to judge. And like, I don't know how you
tell me how excited he is in September.
Right.
Well, that's what Rob was like. It's like, once they start winning, I was like, yeah, dude, I don't know, man.
That'll all go out the window.
I think it'll be good, but it still wouldn't be like it would,
Oh, so speaking of jerseys, Cleveland jerseys in specific, Logan and I went to go see Tool last night in Cleveland, and Danny came out in a Cavs jersey.
Nice.
Osman, I'm not familiar with the current lineup.
He never wears. It's always Celtics, man. That's cool.
I thought I always wore Lakers, but
oh, does it? I thought it was Celtics
because he's from California, but I don't know. He might change it up whatever city he's in.
Makes sense.
But yeah, he came out in a Cavs jersey, so he was like the first one to come out. Everybody got excited. Dude, it was an amazing show, man. They did Sober, they did Push It, They did Right in 2. They did The Grudge. And what was the other one that I really wanted to hear that they actually did? Right 2. Anyway, but then they did literally every song off of Fear Inoculum except for Tempest. And Tempest is like the one song I actually really like on the album.
That's what they did with us too. I was like, what?
Yeah. But they did like 5 songs. The Pot. They did The Pot as well. So they did some old shit. Great stage setup. So during a song off Fear Inoculum called Descending, which is like a 13-minute song or something, Maynard had a table set up on stage, like a restaurant. Did he do that at your show?
I don't know. We couldn't see him. We were too far away.
Oh, dude, this was hilarious. So this was great. So this is the last show of the tour. I don't know if there's like a special thing, but like,
was the spotlight on him?
Oh yeah. Like,
oh yeah, definitely not in our show then.
Oh, well, I mean, I was down low. I was like 12 rows back. I had great seats. But I put some pictures up on Instagram. So in the middle of Descending, when it goes to the long ass instrumental part, and I was actually sitting down for that song. I was like, I don't care about this song at all. But I stood up like right before this whole skit started, where somebody came out, they put a card table down. Somebody came out, put a chair down. Somebody put like a restaurant, black and white, checkered tablecloth on and a little vase, and then he was just standing next to the drum kit looking at his watch, and then like a Mater D came and sat him down. You know, the band's playing the whole time. They're playing this song.
Yeah.
And he sits down, he's looking at a menu, he's playing on his phone. They bring out like breadsticks. He keeps trying to get somebody to take his order. Band playing the whole fucking time. And I was dying because that's like the whole joke with is that their songs are so fucking long.
Yeah.
And literally in the middle of the song, he did this whole skit where he gets bad service at a restaurant, and when they finally bring him his food, he has to go back up and finish the song. And it was hilarious. And I like that type of self-awareness and being able to poke fun at yourself. So people really take Tool very seriously, especially on the internet. And it was a fun little thing to do. And I really enjoyed it, especially because I think their new album is boring for the most part. So I really appreciated it that he did it during one of those songs.
What did Logan think? Did he have a blast?
Oh, dude, he was euphoric, man. He loved the whole thing.
That's awesome.
He was shocked to find out that Justin actually played some of the parts he thought were guitar parts were actually bass parts, which was cool for him to find out because he's a musician and he's really into that. Yeah, I wish they'd done less Fear Inoculum stuff, but I've seen them. I mean, it's like my 5th or 6th time seeing them. I've seen them do the old stuff a lot, going all the way back.
Did they do 94. calling voices from the new one too?
Yeah, they did the same. They did the same 3-song thing at the end that they did everywhere. It was like Calling Voices, Chocolate Chip Trip, Calling Voices, and then Invincible is how they ended the show. We didn't get like Stink Fist. We didn't get the new version of Opiate. But yeah, they definitely stuck to doing the new stuff. I did appreciate Numa live more than I find their new album relatively boring. But hearing Numa live, I was like, all right, I got to give the song a few more listens because I really enjoyed hearing it live. It is a different energy when you hear it live too. But dude, when they busted into Sober as like their second song, I fucking lost it, dude.
Nice.
Because I didn't think they were going to do like I was hearing they weren't doing anything off of Undertow almost. So
yeah,
that was really cool.
They didn't when we went. That was like they didn't do one song off that. I was like, come on.
Yeah. And they only did Push It off of Anima. And Undertow and Anima are like my favorites, but
I was going to say, which version of Push It was it? Was it the new age?
It was the album version. It was the album version, so that was which I prefer.
Yeah.
But they did the album version, and it was great. It was and it was cool too because they had like that weird kind of curtain around them. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Like they had like a circular, like kind of like these strands, so you could see through it, but there was stuff projected onto it, and like at the big crescendo and Push It, like it opened up. It was really cool.
Yeah, they had it open most of our concert.
Yeah.
Like the one in Cleveland or the one in Memphis a couple years ago, that curtain was up almost the whole time.
Oh yeah.
So Maynard Maynard sounded great. How'd he sound for you guys?
Oh yeah, he sounded great.
Yeah.
And I do like that he cosplays as Hawk from Cobra Kai on this tour.
Yeah. I watched an interview with him and David Cross. They were talking, and he was talking about how all the other like lead singers will get up and jump around, and he's like, their voice sounds like shit because they're all tired and everything.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I do like about, Maynard staying still. It's like his vocals are there, man.
Yeah. He's got a great voice. And I could tell like they changed keys a little bit. I know he's had some struggles with the COVID thing when he got COVID last year, really fucked his lungs up and everything. But I think it's pretty common though, as singers age, they'll change the key of a song so that they can, hit the notes that they need to hit and stuff. But he sounded great. Everybody sounded great. Like that's one of the best drummers of all time. I will argue that point till I die. If you can't, like, he's just,
it's amazing.
Like amazing drummer.
Just to
mind blowing.
Watching him, it's like that's amazing. It's like, how the hell is he hitting all those drums?
You know what I like to do is watch drummers watch him for the first time,
Yeah.
They're like, holy shit.
The reaction videos.
Yeah. That was pretty great. That's awesome, man. He came to Cleveland. You didn't have to go.
And I love too, like he announced, like Maynard announced at the beginning of the thing, he's like, hey, I was born in Akron, Ohio. And everybody went nuts, of course. But a lot of people don't know that Maynard was actually born in Akron.
I did not know that.
Akron represent. Yeah. His parents lived here for a long time. I remember one of the times I saw him, he had his parents come out on stage. They were both wheelchair bound. And then my mom oddly used to work with them via the area agency for aging. And I don't know what, she was like a customer service rep or something, but I guess one time Maynard's mom that got services through them and called in and was like telling my mom that, her son was a singer in a band called Tool. And, and of course my mom knew who it was because of me, but I was like, no shit, that's fucking crazy.
Was Maynard the one that went to Ravenna High School or was that Marilyn Manson?
I don't know. I know Marilyn Manson went to Canton, I think. I don't think he went to Ravenna. I thought he was more like a Canton kid.
Oh, okay.
Maynard might have been Ravenna.
I thought I read something.
They're going overseas now, right? To do the tour?
Yeah. I think like this is the end of the American tour. I think they're taking a little time off and then they're heading over to the UK to do some dates.
I think they end in like Amsterdam or somewhere. This is the last tour date.
But it was a good show. It was, it's all, they're top-notch musicians, got a great catalog. I would go see them again unless the price keeps going up because it's getting fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty pricey.
I used to see those guys for $25 and I was in the front row, man. Come on.
Yeah. Did you watch the John Oliver on Ticketmaster?
I did.
Dude, how crazy is that?
And I knew a lot of that already.
Yeah.
But it's just so frustrating because it just wasn't like that. And I know inflation is part of it, but that's too much of a going from, paying $12 to $20 for a show. I remember as a kid being like $40. I got to pay $40. Oh, fuck. That's so much money. And that was for a really good seat. Now it's like $88 for a garbage seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
I didn't know that Ticketmaster bought a lot of the venues. Like I didn't know that.
I knew that. Yeah. Like, House of Blues is owned by Live Nation. There's a lot. It's so fucked up, dude. It's just it's just so fucked up at this point. And they own a lot. I bet you they own more ticket vendors than we even know about. Because there are other ones like Access and I forget some.
Justin Bieber buying his own tickets.
Yeah. Like
I got tickets to see Tom Segura in April and they were pretty pricey. And that was months ago. And then my buddy's like, hey man, I think I'll go up because it's at a casino. He's like, man, I'll go up there with you. And when you're done with the show, we can gamble or something. And he's like, how much are tickets now? And I looked online, they were over like $100 just for a seat. He was like, no, thanks. That's just a comedian,
We paid $90 for tickets in a balcony for a comedian I never heard of last weekend. I was like,
who was it?
Leanne something. I don't know.
All right. That narrows it down.
Nailed it.
She's like a country comedian.
Oh, okay.
She talk like this.
That's what you're doing last weekend on Beale?
Yeah.
Nice. Did you like
Drinking
it?
His chocolate milk.
Yeah, it was 70 degrees on Thursday, 60 degrees on Friday. We went down there Saturday. It was 22 degrees. And when we came back Sunday, it was 65.
Let me guess.
We
You packed shorts
the whole
only
time there, because it's downtown, and it was freaking cold. But no, we had a good time.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't seen a comedy show in.
She was funny. I mean, she was. I mean, it just Molly enjoyed it. So
last one I went to, Maggie and I, and we were like front row. It was Melissa Villasenor. That was a good time.
Where was that at? Hilarities?
Yeah, Hilarities. They get a lot of good. Like I've seen Bill Burr there and Mike Birbiglia.
Yeah, every time I listen to Bill Burr, he always talks highly of Hilarities. Like he loves
everybody. All the comedians love whoever owns Hilarities and
do they?
Frolic. They love that guy. Yeah, they like that's how he's able to get. Because when I first saw Bill Burr, it was like Playhouse Square, real big theater. And then the second time it was there, and then like the third or fourth time, he's playing Hilarities. But he did like 4 shows or whatever, and they weren't expensive tickets either. And I was like, fuck, that's awesome, because it's a small venue is so much better for any kind of show, music or comedy. And it was really cool, and we were up close, and it's just it's way better to see comedians at a comedy club, in my opinion.
Leanne Morgan.
Okay.
That's who we saw. I keep thinking rhymes.
Yeah, well, that's the only rhyme. That's the only way I could think of when you said Leanne was. Rhymes.
I was gonna say Womack.
So
is that a person?
Yeah, I was getting that Tom Segura tour was coming up here, and Bert Kreischer played up here recently. We didn't get tickets though, but Bill Burr's playing, and I didn't get tickets for that because he's playing the fucking same arena I saw Tool in. I'm like, I am not going to an arena to see a comedy show. I will wait for the Netflix special. Like that's too big. That's too big.
Because you'll be there and you'll be watching him on a screen anyway because he's so far away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And but kudos to him though, man. I mean, that's awesome. He's playing arenas now, so nothing but props to that dude. That's great for him to be playing places that big. And I think Segura's playing the casino up here too, like the Northfield Casino, Hard Rock or whatever the fuck it is. I want to go to a show there. We saw Dimitri Martin there. That was a cool little venue. It wasn't as small as Hilarities, but it was good.
I want to go to one of the casinos in Cleveland. I haven't even been there since they were allowed to gamble.
It's I'll give you the inside scoop. It looks like any other fucking casino. Every casino looks the same. All right. Once you get into the depths of the casino, it's just rows of fucking slot machines. Same as any other fucking casino. You're not missing anything.
Bunch of old people smoking cigarettes.
Right.
Can you smoke cigarettes in a casino?
Exchanges on. Yeah. I don't know if you can or not. I haven't visited one enough to remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah, they have non-smoking sections.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Well, Vegas has those air exchangers, and they do work pretty well. But obviously, if somebody's smoking right next to you, you're still going to smell that shit. But
what have you guys been watching this week? Anything?
All right, so I have some news.
Oh,
what's that?
Rob's got news.
I got rid of DirecTV.
Yeah. Cut the cord.
Cut the cord.
I will say I really miss TNT.
You can get the app. I can give you a password to log into.
You can only watch their shows. You can't watch sports.
He misses being able to turn something on and it just shows him
just
things.
Feed me, right, blindly.
Yeah, he doesn't like I've never liked that. I always like picking my own shit, and Rob and I, this is the chocolate milk argument but for me and Rob, and that is, why would you let somebody dictate what you watch when you can a la carte everything? And
because I'm not really watching it.
But still, I hate commercials. I hate almost everything on TV.
Well, here's the thing. It's not the shows so much. It's the sports. It is really hard to watch sports without having some type of cable. Because ESPN Plus isn't the same programming that's on ESPN.
Yeah.
Right.
So like when the basketball games come on, and that's what I used to watch on TNT and like the Bailey's sports channels. I watched the Grizzlies. Like I couldn't watch the tournament. Dude, I'm having serious withdrawals.
Yeah, man. Like sports is what it took me a while to get used to that, because especially Sports Center, I would just go there to see what happened throughout the day. Or like you said, Grizzlies. I don't watch the Grizzlies at all now, man, because I just don't even think about them.
Yeah,
but I would.
I guess I'm gonna have to go old school and start listening to the radio now.
Yeah,
going backwards
to listen to a game.
So wait a minute, do you not have another cable option? Like, what's the deal? Like, why don't you sign up with another?
You can get some stuff with. I mean, I can watch, local TV, airwave, but TNT has and TBS have all the college March Madness.
But that's what I mean, though. Don't you have another cable provider you can go to?
No, I got rid of it. That's what I'm saying. I got rid of my.
You don't have Cox where you live?
Yeah, but that's what I just got rid of. I got rid of DirecTV. It's cable.
We got
same
Comcast. He's saying he got rid of cable.
It's the same.
What I mean, I thought you had an issue with your provider, and that's why you got rid of it. So why not go to a different provider?
Oh no, I got rid of it because it's too goddamn much money.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what you do, though. Dude, play the system. Now what you do is you go and you sign up for one of those introductory packages. It's like no money. You do that for a year. You call
Sling. Yeah.
Well, no, I meant like with whoever your other provider is down there. They'll have introductory packages because they're always sending them to me.
I don't want to.
I have two. And you'll get these cheap rates, and then at the end of the year, whenever the pay, and then you call them up and you're like, all right, I want to continue with this rate. And when they say no, I'm going to cancel. Then all of a sudden they're allowed to offer you that rate or some other type of deal.
Dude,
or you just cancel and go back and forth.
I did that with DirecTV a year and a half ago. I wrote July 3rd of when my freaking satellite contract was going to expire. The only reason I kept it as long as I did is because they gave me free NFL package this last year. So they sucked me right back in.
If you genuinely want cable TV channels, just call up again, go online. You'll find deals that are real cheap, and they'll skyrocket up quick. So that's what they do to you. Like I remember when I had Spectrum years and years ago, and when I first signed up, I think I was paying like $30-$40 a month. And then after like 2 or 3 years, I was paying like $200. I'm like, what happened? Like, how did I go from $30 to $200? This can't be right.
That's why I canceled cable. Dude, my bill was almost $300 a month.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this.
What? And
mine was over $200. I mean, I had HBO on that, and I had the sports package, but they like for the HD receiver, it's an extra $8. Nobody fucking watches anything that's not HD anymore.
Right.
You know, nobody watches standard TV.
Somebody sitting there with a 19-inch fucking TV like, I'm glad I'm saving that $8.
Yeah.
I want to meet that person.
I'm with Shawn. You can go back and forth now because like this last time I switched back to Comcast, they just sent me the stuff in the mail. I hooked it up myself. I didn't even need a technician to come out. It was fucking great. So if you can keep doing that.
That's probably why you're blurry.
No, it's always blurry. but yeah, that's not a bad idea.
You could play them against each other. I know people who did that. They did it with their satellite providers. They had DirecTV and they had Dish. I don't even know if Dish still exists.
Dude,
but
if I got to call DirecTV again, so the satellite wouldn't shut off, and there was nothing on the screen. But you hit the power button and won't shut off. So then I reset it. I know how to do all this stuff. So I did it.
Right.
So then I was like, shit, I got to call them. I even waited 3 days because I was like, crap, I just got to call them. So I call them. They let you know how they put you through the, hey, do this, do that. I was like, lady, look, it's not my HDMI cable. I've already tried that. I said, the indicator that my receiver is effed up is that it won't shut off. The power button is staying on.
And that has nothing to do with you or anything you've done.
And she's like, I'll send a technician out. And I was like, God, you know what? I don't have time for this anymore.
I just need a new box.
I'm done.
I just need a new box.
I'm done. I'm done.
Because I had to go through that when I was helping your parents where I spent like a whole day there doing stuff on my own. And then eventually I started chatting with somebody on the internet, a technician, and they told me to do all the shit I had already done. And I was just like, I'm doing it. I'm just staring at the screen. Yep, still the same thing. And because I had already done all that. I've already reset the box 100 times. You know what I mean? I'd already gone through the settings in the box and all this kind of stuff. Like I was like, look, this box is so old. They just need a new box. It's so, I could tell by looking at, like, this was the box I had almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I know it's outdated. Please just send them a new, like, well, we could have a technician come up. Like, give me a new box.
You know what my favorite is when you go to sign up, that person speaks perfect English. But when you go to cancel, it's like somebody, it's their first lesson ever in English.
Or it's like a bad connection, and they're real quiet. Like, hi, thank you for calling. Oh, what can I do? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Is this better? Hang on, let me put you on hold. Like,
yeah. So I said, you know what? I said, I'm done. I was like, no, don't schedule me anybody. Just, I just want to cancel. And then it was amazing how the call got transferred back to the States. Yeah. And this guy was smooth talking, could understand every word.
You get a recovery agent.
Oh man, now. I was about to pay $80 for everything I already have.
Yeah.
And exactly. I was like, you know what, dude? I said, I called a year and a half ago because I was complaining because I could get HBO Max cheaper than what they were charging me for HBO. So that was the whole reason I called. I was like, you're charging me, what was it, $19.99? I was like, I can get HBO for Max for $14. I was like, why do I
right.
And so then he's, oh, but and I was like, dude, I'm done. So then check this out. So then, and he was nice because he did credit my account because normally they take you to the end of the month. So they didn't charge me a full month, which was cool. But check this out. So I paid my bill.
Pause. Check this out is Rob's catchphrase. I just wanted to say that.
My fingers.
Anyway,
go ahead. Check this out.
So I call. I go to pay my bill. To pay it off.
Yeah.
And I paid my bill online. I have my account. You know my password. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
So I go to, and it's an error. And I was like, well, shit, did I type my email in right? Double checked, typed in my password right. I'm like, what the hell, man? I did it like 8 times. I'm like, okay, something's wrong. So I was like, well, how else can I pay my bill? Oh, you got to call him. So I call him. Oh my God. I thought I was done being on hold with DirecTV. I was on hold for a half hour just trying to give them money. It was so frustrating. Finally, I wouldn't
have done that.
I was across seas.
You can bill me.
I was across seas, and I finally said, dude, you got to get me somebody else. I came back to the States, and guess what? It got solved in like 2 minutes. He's like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, Jesus, mother of God. I'm so glad to be done. So glad.
I'm not trying to pay anybody money. They can send me a fucking statement, and I'll send them a fucking third-party out-of-state check. Like, fuck that.
I just wanted to be done with them. I was so
sick.
It. Ever since AT&T bought them, they have gone to shit. They used to be the best company for customer service. I'm not kidding. That's why I've stuck with them for so long. But when AT&T bought them, oh man, it's gone down.
No, they're all bad.
Dude, the guy,
don't matter which one.
The sales guy even said, he's like, AT&T is about to sell. DirecTV is about to go on their own again. He was like, if you can just wait it out. I started laughing. I thought of John Oliver always making fun of AT&T, man.
Business daddy.
That cable company is rough, I tell you. Ugh.
Oh, man, it's so frustrating.
Yeah,
and then, even my local cable provider got bought, and then I don't know if they got bought again or if they just changed their name or something recently too, but it hasn't been the same ever since. Like, quality's gone down.
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of issues, to be honest. I'm not, we do have some intermittent internet issues, but it's nothing that's, I don't know, nothing that has me looking at Spectrum, which is the other option, because Spectrum used to piss me off all the time because of the rising rates. Like I said, starting off with an introductory package of, $30 or so a month, and then being like, why am I paying $210? And like, all they've done over this time is rearrange my channels, get rid of channels I like, give me channels I don't want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was like, how am I paying so much more for something I watched 3 channels?
You're paying $70 more a month for OAN.
Right.
That was the tax to build First Energy Stadium in Cleveland.
Right.
Hey,
Fucking hell.
even with like I got rid of cable and my apps. I keep buying more apps, but I'm still not even close to what I was paying with
right.
cable.
And you can it's so easy to cancel an app though too. Mm-hmm. Like I'm probably going to cancel Paramount Plus because I'm just like we don't really use that one anymore. Maybe when football season comes around again or whatever,
Halo's coming on.
Hey, oh yeah, I do got. So maybe after Halo, I don't know. I forgot that was coming out this week.
Let's talk about Halo. What'd you think of that trailer? I'm not really.
I thought it looked cool.
I'm not that.
It looked cool. I like Halo a lot more just because I've been playing it since it came out.
Yeah.
So I'm a little excited, but I don't know that I necessarily saw anything in the trailer that has me like super. That actually that's not true. The costumes and the vehicles and stuff look great. Like they're like straight out of the game. So that's good to see when they adapt stuff. It's not like Resident Evil where they're just like, we're just gonna do whatever the fuck we want and use the name. You know what I mean? Like they're actually trying to stay true to the property. So I appreciate it. It's sad when you have to praise somebody for just taking a property and not completely changing it from what it is and what people know it to be. But
we're
that's
talking
what we
about
have to
the
do.
Other Resident Evil movies, not the latest.
Right. Well, the series that most people know, the Mila Jovovich series.
I just want to clarify because the last one was pretty good.
I haven't seen that yet. And then I guess Netflix is doing a Resident Evil series pretty soon. That's going to be coming out like a TV show or something.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. Fuck yeah. All right. I couldn't help it. I had to buy Spider-Man. I bought it.
Did you buy it? Did you give in? I keep looking at it, dude. I'm like, oh, just wait. Like, just wait a couple more weeks, man. So did you watch it again? Yeah,
I watched it with the family. It was great. Yeah. Again, fucking love it.
I'm excited to watch it again. I'm gonna stick it out though. I've like, damn it, that's $20 I can spend on another movie. Maybe I'll pick up like the latest James Bond movie. I haven't bought that yet. So
you still haven't watched that?
Nuh-uh.
I got
rent it. Just rent it for like $2.
I want to buy it. I have the other ones in 4K. Like it's just one of those things. Like I don't want to rent it and then buy it. I'll just even if I don't like it, I'd rather just have it.
You can.
I James Bond fan, huh?
I just give you my Apple TV login. It's on. For some reason, I downloaded the code and it goes to Apple TV and not Vudu. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
I have certain movies that go some places and not the others.
I've logged into so many different. Like I'm logged into. Well, actually, I'm not logged into Rob's HBO right now because I had actually bought a month because we were watching Sopranos when it literally cut off right after an episode.
I gave you the password.
I have it. But I already paid for. I'm going to use it. I'm just going to use this month of mine. That's why
your wife texted me and was like, "You cut it off right in the middle of it." So, dude, we were downtown immediately. We were downtown at the Airbnb, and I was like, Molly immediately got on and signed us up, and I sent it to you.
It was that fast. I was like, I already signed up too, though. But yeah, I will still take full advantage of that. But I think we share codes with like my sister. I think Keith and Becca have one of our.
Oh my god!
Thing like you know what I mean? Like because you just share stuff.
Yeah.
But then Steve gives me stuff, but I have my own Vudu account, so I log into his Vudu on my Xbox. But I'm logged in.
I just updated your maturity rating on Disney Plus too, so now you're allowed
the R-rated stuff.
You're allowed to watch TVMA now.
So I'm probably logged into that still on my Xbox as well. I haven't used that in a while, but
did you hear they were trying to crack down on that by charging like a couple bucks more for
Netflix?
Yeah, is that Netflix?
They're doing it in South America.
Yeah,
they're testing it.
To see how who would like that? Who would want to pay more? No one would do that.
Well, that's thing too with Netflix.
Well, it doesn't mess with your stuff. Like
I'm up to like $20 a month for Netflix. I was a very early adopter of the Netflix app when it came out on the Xbox 360, back when they barely had anything on there and it was mostly shit you had never heard of. But at the same time, it was very cool to have this little thing and it grew over time. But it was like $7 a month back then. I'm up to $20 and they're like, how can we charge more money? Fuck you, Netflix. Fuck you. There's no way you need more money. If I want to give my fucking login to 3 different people, fuck you. How dare you?
They got to make all that money to make quality projects like the Atom Project. I watched that. Did
you watch that? What did you think of that?
It fucking sucked, dude. It was horrible.
I thought it was enjoyable.
It was like
lightweight.
Yeah.
But here's what pisses me off is that's the director. He directed Free Guy, which I couldn't even watch Free Guy. I tried to watch Free Guy twice.
Better than Free Guy, I thought. Yeah.
Atom Project was better than Free Guy.
Yeah.
But because I couldn't even finish Free Guy, but I got through Atom Project. the schmaltzy stuff landed with me. But that director has like no distinct style. And I'm like, Ryan Reynolds likes this guy because he can tell this guy what to do. That's what I think is actually going on. So he's directing Deadpool 3 now. And I'm like, fuck. Like, it's not going to be bad, but it's like, get somebody with some panache, some style, you know?
Usually kids, with a kid in the movie, the kid was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
he like nailed Ryan Reynolds as a kid.
Yeah, he was very annoying.
Yeah,
everybody was fine. I just thought the movie was boring.
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't worth your Netflix going up $5 a month. Good,
right? I thought it was like a fun. I thought it accomplished what it set out to do, which was to kind of be like a modern take on an '80s type movie, like a Steven Spielberg, kind of flick. I thought it did a pretty good job. It was totally predictable and everything, and there weren't any like real standout lines or anything truly exciting. It was very much a mishmash of stuff, but it was fine. It was fine. I think kids would like it a lot more than adults. I think it was definitely aimed towards
it was a decent movie to take your family to or watch with.
Yeah. It's a family flick for sure.
That was all right.
But so I've been watching Sopranos. I've been enjoying that.
How far are you?
Dude, it's been how many years has Sopranos been out? I watched it like 20 years ago, I think.
I didn't have HBO then.
Yeah.
I was poor back then. I couldn't afford HBO. But so yeah,
really
I didn't watch it when it was on. Yeah, it's great, man. And the performances are great. The writing's great. The only thing I have an issue with is there's a lot of dream sequences, and I'm not really into that as like a storytelling mechanism. I just don't like it. I think it's stupid. But dude, everybody's fantastic. Like all the characters, the dialogue, the performances, just it's a great show. I'm glad we're watching. Maggie's watched the whole thing before. She doesn't really remember it, but she's been through the whole series apparently.
Yeah, same here. I don't remember it, but I know I've seen it all.
So I've been enjoying that. I'm all caught up on Severance on Apple TV. I recommend that show. Check that out if you're looking for something new and different.
Kristen and I plowed through Love is Blind too. Did you guys watch that yet?
We watched that a while ago.
Never going to watch another season of Love is Blind.
The season, the first season was cool because you'd never seen that before. The second season was great just because of the finale or the extra when they all came back, the reunion. That was brutal. That was fucking brutal, man. I
thought this season was lame though because there wasn't nearly enough drama. Like the first season had that one crazy blonde chick.
Yeah,
it had the one explosive encounter with the bisexual dude and the chick who couldn't handle the fact that he was bisexual. You had all these great elements, and this one just wasn't dramatic enough for me. Dude, Maggie kept yelling at me because I could not remember a single person's name. I was like, these people are so bland. I don't remember who they are. I kept calling the one chick completely just a made up. I was pulling a Rob. I was just making up names for people. Who the fuck are you talking about? Like her, that one right there. She's like, that's so and so. I'm like, oh, I don't know. They all look the fucking same to me. Here's the one thing I did like, that insane fucking blonde dude who is like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Shane.
Yeah, that dude's. We kept calling him Jake Busey because that's who that motherfucker looks like.
Dude,
but he's a nut, dude. That dude he's a danger to society, in my opinion.
Dude, I swear that guy was always real crazy. But dude, I swear to God, on his wedding day, I thought he took some drugs. I thought he was high. He was high on something, dude. He couldn't stand still. He couldn't look people in the eye. Like it was like, what is going on?
Definitely on something.
Dude, you know what killed me? The Christian lady.
That was yes,
dude.
That was such bullshit. That dude. She didn't like that dude because he was ugly to her. As soon as they met, she was like, "Man, he got some big ass ear." And she didn't say that, but we knew. Me and Maggie were like, "She doesn't like that dude because she doesn't like how he looks."
Yeah.
And immediately she's like, "Oh, I don't know about this. I'm a Christian. You're not." And that was some major bullshit.
I was like, you know what the Christian thing would be to do? Tell him you don't want to marry him. Instead of being deceitful and leading him on.
Right.
How about you be a Christian and do the right thing?
I will never watch that show ever again.
Dude,
you guys sucked me into that.
Dude,
I cracked out on it. I waited
You got to watch the reunion. This girl's name is Shayna, and
I
she
will
was
never
just, for
watch
some
Love is
reason,
Blind
she
again.
kept like squinting, like every time they showed her, she's like this, like she was like oh dude, it was Kristen and I
Maggie
were
was
just
like,
rolling.
did she forget her contacts today? Because she kept squinting at everything.
Kristen is like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Why does she keep doing that? I was like, I have no idea. But that whole reunion was just tough to watch, and that fucking what's the guy's name? Shake? Dude, what a
that asshole.
fucking dickhead, man.
What a piece of shit. That's a shit state of a human right there.
Right. Just kill yourself, man. Like you're good.
And that was another one. He just wasn't physically attracted to that chick. He kept trying to say it was this or that. He just wasn't into her. That's all it was. He just wouldn't say it though.
Right. Even his mom said you're a piece of shit. It was great. But yeah, I recommend that. Check that out. That's fun.
Yeah, if
watching.
you're up for some pure trash TV.
Yeah.
With
make
no nutritional value.
Make sure to get to the reunion. That's all I say.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was we didn't get through that one nearly as fast because both of us were getting real bored with a lot of the stuff going on. It was very boring.
There's one more funny thing before we end it. I Love Is Blind. Right at the end of the reunion show, they pop in this promo for the new show. And it's like right after like all this drama had gone on, like two of these people are completely crushed, like you can see it in their face. Like they still love each other, but it's over, and they're trying to, pick up the pieces from that. And Nick Lachey's like, and check out our new show.
Right.
And everyone that is on the panel is just devastated right now. Like I was like, poor timing. Like just do that shit after the end of the show.
That was hilarious. Yeah. That like they just did that too. I was like, okay, everybody's shattered. Hey, coming up on Netflix in just a few months. Yeah.
That was great. I love watching TV. It's been a while.
All right, so check out. I'm asking you guys and listeners, check out Severance on Apple TV with Adam Scott and Christopher Walken's in it. John Turturro's in it. Patricia Arquette is in it, and a bunch of other people whose names.
What's it about?
So it's kind of like this, a little bit of a sci-fi thing, but basically it's about this company called Lumen who hires people, but you have to go through this procedure called severance, where you have.
I saw a preview for that.
Just check it out.
Yeah.
It's very intriguing. I still don't know fully what's going on, and it's very entertaining. It's my kind of show. Basically,
it looks kind of Orwellian or
a little bit
Brazil.
A little bit. I could definitely see you getting that vibe from it, but once you watch it, it's a little bit more down to earth than you think initially.
Everything I just said went over Steve's head.
No, I know the movie Brazil. I've seen it. Shawn and I watched that, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah, I made him watch that back when I was big into artsy films. My younger
days.
It
sounds like something.
I like the guys from Monty Python. That was him, right?
Terry Gilliam directed it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
What I forget what else
I did think you were talking about the country at first, though.
Nice.
Oh, dude, I watched Cobra this week.
Cobra Kai?
Don't worry, you don't have to watch it.
Oh, Stallone?
Don't watch
Stallone Cobra?
I mean, really, there's nothing there. It's bad action. It's the old final fight at the steel mill. It's just like,
dude, but how like Stallone is at his most 80s action character in that though.
Bad,
just just the most badass low voice,
bad one-liners that are probably everybody's favorite now, but I didn't watch it growing up. So
what I
always had a match in his mouth, and of course he uses it and lights it at one part.
He plays a cop. That's what gets me. Is like this is like an over-the-top action movie, and we're supposed to believe he's just a cop. This is what cops get into. It's like way over the top, even compared to like Lethal Weapon.
Well,
and stuff.
His name's Marion Cabretti, and he is a cop, but none of the cops. They only send him in like when they have no other option.
Right,
so like none of the cops actually like him. So.
I just love that too. Like that's how police precincts are run. They're like get Cobra. This is a job for Cobra.
Right.
You know?
We don't want to get our hands dirty. Send in Marion Cobretti. So yeah, it was pretty bad. We lost Rob.
I lost my mic.
Rob's just
I
fucking
just
knocking his
knocked it
mic around. Sorry, listener. Sorry you died or had a car accident just now.
Half the podcast is just Rob moving stuff around on the table where his mic is. I was like, put your hands on your lap, dude.
Cross your fingers. Put your hands on your desk.
But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know if I can say you should see this movie, you know, like you go for it. It's up to you, man. Like you can live without it if you want.
You have to know what kind of movie it is and be up for that kind of movie, basically.
Yeah.
And for some people it'd just be nostalgia. For other people it'd be like, what is this piece of shit? But it's entertaining. I mean, you got to give it that, man.
Yeah, one of the main bad guys was one of the main bad guys in Buffy, the first season of Buffy. So I thought that was nice. I enjoyed that. And
so
then
I barely remember. He's after like a serial killer or something, right? Like, what's the deal? Or a cult?
Yeah, he's after. Yeah, it's like a serial killer, and he's got a following.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I gotta
Bridget Nielsen. Bridget Nielsen's in it.
That's when he was married to her, I believe.
Probably.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they were a couple for a while.
Like a year or two.
I'm
long enough to make a movie.
Though.
There's one scene at a diner, and she just puts on a shit ton of ketchup all over her fries. And I'm like, oh man, are they going to explain this scene, or are they just going to let this go? And they did. But I was like, it'd be so great if she just poured all that ketchup on and no one said anything.
What was it, a Rocco amount of ketchup?
Oh, dude, it was
even more.
It made me proud. It was a Rocco amount. It might have been more than a Rocco amount. That's how much it was.
I got breakfast sandwiches Sunday, and Keith was like, "What are you putting on your sandwich?" I was like, "Ketchup."
Ketchup eating motherfuckers. I've never met people who enjoy ketchup more than you guys. Like, good Lord. You've never had a bottle of ketchup go bad in your house.
No.
Does ketchup go bad? I didn't know it goes bad.
It does, because I've had it go bad.
If you don't put it in the fridge, there's people that put ketchup in the cupboard and people that put ketchup in the fridge.
Oh my God, my grandma used to put it in the cupboard. It's like, what are you doing? It's open. You can't put it back in the cupboard.
You actually can, but the problem was it wasn't Heinz. It was like Cat's Up.
No, it was
always that like off-brand. That was horrible.
So we all agree though you should put your ketchup in the fridge, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I learned that lesson the hard way.
I
left it out thinking, because I was like, restaurants leave it out all the time. Don't leave your ketchup out.
Okay. That's because people are using it all the time.
Right. And it gets refilled all the time. It's a different scenario. That's how I justified it, and then it didn't make sense later.
I just want to make sure we are on the same page and make sure, it's not like one of those.
Refrigerated. I liked the fact that when I didn't refrigerate it, that it wasn't cold.
Yeah, Molly doesn't like cold ketchup.
It does go bad, though. So don't do that. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah, Cobra. That was great. The more I think about it, I was like, maybe you should watch it.
It's just, you have to be in a certain kind of mood is all. You have to know what you're getting into. Don't expect anything other than like a crazy, over-the-top, tough guy 80s action movie. That's all it is.
They're still fun, though, right? I mean...
Yeah.
And they made those movies in like 3 weeks. You know what I mean? It's like now it takes like 8 years for a movie to come out. Like they made that, they announced it like in February and it came out in March. It's like.
And the whole time I thought he drove a Cobra. Like I thought that was his car.
like a Mustang Cobra?
Yeah, he's driving some old big ass car. I don't know much about cars, but I don't think that's a Cobra. I pictured a Cobra
because he's Cobretti, man. Cobretti, Cobra.
Yeah, I get it, but I just
I get it.
He does now.
Right.
In my mind, I always just pictured that was his car, but I get it. Not the movie I was thinking of. Maybe it was Bad Boys. I don't know.
All right, what else is going on? Any other? Oh, I've been doing some. I was doing some thinking about my my tendency, for critical analysis and why. I got into the why of it, but I also kind of got into the fact that I mean, mostly because like you guys are always on me for like not enjoying things or picking things apart. And I just need you to know, apparently it's just like a tendency of mine. And the earliest instance I could think of picking something apart and meeting resistance after the fact was Willy Wonka in like the early 90s. And when I started telling people that Willy Wonka was a child murderer, I got a lot of resistance about that. And I was like, no, I've watched this movie a lot. And I think people thought I wasn't serious at first. And then it kind of developed steam over time. Now on the internet, the consensus is, oh yeah, Willy Wonka, the serial killer.
I can attest for that because I remember Shawn saying that when we were real young, and man, that shit. And apparently he wasn't the only one thinking that.
Right. And because I was one of the things that my mom made me watch when I was younger, than that, like, there was also a time when like she would get the TV out like here and there, like when she wanted to watch the Thornbirds or something like that. So she would get that Thornbirds and Sound of Music. Yeah. So I saw Willy Wonka right. And it literally scared me as a kid. Like, people think I'm joking when I say it's a scary movie, but I watched it as a kid and I just had maybe because my mom was like insanely evil, but like I got it right away. I was like, this dude is killing kids, man. And
isn't that great though? That was the one movie they would show in our Christian school. They would show the kids that.
Right. No, it makes the movie better. See, that was the thing too. I wasn't criticizing it on a level of it makes the movie bad. I was like, I think it makes it more intense. And like it was, but I got a lot of resistance for that initially. And then it wasn't until speaking of Marilyn Manson again, Marilyn Manson had on his first album, which was like 94, he had that part from when they're on the boat and then Willy Wonka starts talking. There's no earthly way of knowing. The opening for the album is that, but Marilyn Manson's reading it in like this super creepy voice. And I was like, oh, he gets it. And then like when his EP came out, the Smells Like Children EP came out, it was written in the Willy Wonka font. And then go back to the first album, he had a video for Dope Hat where it was basically a Willy Wonka parody. They're on this insane boat. He's got Oompa Loompas. I was like, okay, I am not the only. That was the first confirmation I had where I was like, Marilyn Manson gets it. That dude is terrifying. He fucking gets it. And then over time, it's kind of like people realize like, oh yeah, you can't juice a child. They have bones and muscles. If you take a child to the juicing room, they will die.
Yeah.
If you spend too much time in a chocolate river, you will drown. And that's what happens.
They specifically showed them in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. Right. At the end, they showed the kids at the end. I was like, oh, come on, man. They're dead.
Right. But in this one, and then you hear that, like, and it was the little things too that I was always telling people. I was like, the Oompa Loompa comes up to him, whispers something in his ear after one of the, he tells them to fix one of the kids. And then Willy Wonka says to him, oh no, I won't hold you responsible. Like, it's just like these subtle, brilliant fucking lines, fucking hilarious. And again, they're like, no, he said this and that. I was like, yeah, he said it, but you never saw those fucking people again. Like, you never saw them again. There's no, he didn't. Again, you can't juice a child. You cannot juice a child. It's like, we're take her to the juicing room. It's like, that doesn't work.
I wonder if Gene Wilder kind of played it like that. Because when you watch it really does look like he was.
It's fucking loose.
Yeah. He's brilliant. I love Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
He's just awesome.
He played that up for sure. Yeah. He knew exactly what he was doing.
And then you got Charlie's grandpa milking disability. It's like, dude, you were fine. What are you doing? Go out there and work. Kids.
And that means he's been sitting there doing stuff every day because your muscles would atrophy if you were actually sitting in that bed. So that means all those old fucks were getting up, probably having orgies, doing whatever the fuck. And then Charlie would come home like, oh, everybody get in bed. Like, it was a fucked up ass movie. And it's a great movie, but it's so much more fucked up than people caught on to initially. So that was just basically going back to explain that's just how my fucking brain works when I watch something.
Yeah.
I tend to see things. It's not there's no intention there, but sometimes I get the subtext that other people don't get, or I look at things from a different angle sometimes and it looks like really critical, but really it's just my fucking brain is fucked up.
We don't care. We're just messing with you, dude. We're just messing with you,
arguing about it.
We don't care.
I like arguing. What am I going to do? I said you were mostly right about Batman. I'm sorry you just missed the ending and didn't get it. It's not my fault. You were mostly right.
I thought it was better than
I'm sorry you looked at a scaffolding and it took you out of the movie. I'm sorry. You're mostly right.
I thought it was better. Oh, that's right. Steve didn't think the ending. He differed from me and you.
Yeah.
No, but from your initial, because like when you first talked about Batman, I was like, I don't care if I'll just wait for HBO Max. I'm glad I went to see it.
I told you not to do that. I told you not to do that.
And I
told you that was
my
my perspective.
I listened to you.
I'm just saying, I knew that what I was approaching it from was as a Batman fanboy first, who's read a shit ton of Batman. So therefore, I have a different perspective than people who haven't.
But then, like a week later, you kind of upped it yourself. So, you know,
well, it was one of those things that stayed in my mind, and I always like to go back and look at things again, because things do change. You know, some things get elevated over time, some things get diminished over time. That was something that really stayed in my head. I really am excited to watch it again. And I didn't up it a whole lot. I gave it like a 6 out of 10 still, but it could still go up. It might have just been a little jarring, just for the whole very heavy-handed melodramatic tone they were going for. But at the same time, a lot of that imagery really stayed in my head, which is pretty cool. None of the dialogue did, but
I'm really anticipating this next one because I think it has the chance to be way better.
Oh, yeah. It's a good foundation. But I don't think it's as strong a foundation as Batman Begins was.
Yeah,
that's what I'm comparing it to as well. It's like Batman Begins as far as like an inaugural Batman movie, and I love the '89 movie. I got the poster up over here. I mean, that's one of my just all-time favorite movies, comfort food movies. But Batman Begins though was like mind blowing, like for real. The original '89 Batman was mind blowing because I was fucking 12. You know, like I just had never seen anything like that with that kind of budget. But when you watch it, if you do watch it with a critical eye, it's really not that great of a movie.
Yeah, rewatchability, totally. The Christopher Nolan ones, man, I can watch those all the time.
Well, I love it. I think the Nolan ones are there is real. It's Batman that could he portrayed it in a way that could actually there could be a Batman like right now in reality, you know what I mean? Whereas, the 89, it's still kind of a fantasy thing. You know what I mean? That's not our world. Whereas Batman Begins, it's like, dude, somebody could be a Batman. You know what I mean? It was like, wow, in this modern times, it's
very believable.
That's what makes it. Yeah. It's so cool.
But yeah, the newer one is definitely a little bit just slightly more surrealistic, kind of, but in a different way from the Burton movies.
Yeah.
Tonally, it's different, but it's a little bit outside of reality. But again, that's also fine. I have no problem with that. Not everything should be couched in reality, so that was definitely not an issue.
They both work.
I got used to it.
They both work.
I do like that cartoon that Steve shared. That he's like, it's 1989. I'm in 5th grade. I'm seeing a dark Batman movie. And he's like, it's 2005. I am now seeing a dark Batman movie.
I think it was darker.
an even darker Batman movie. And like, it just keeps going. It's pretty funny.
I saw another meme. It was like starting with, back in the 60s with that Batman. And then as the Batman, each picture of the next year's Batman got darker and darker and darker.
Then you couldn't see him.
The last photo was just a black screen.
Right?
But I'm with you, man. Like that one, like I'll watch it again, but like I'm not that excited.
I'm very excited. Like over time, like I said, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, maybe there's more to enjoy there than I thought. And I hope I'm wrong about that. Because again, huge Batman fan, huge fucking Batman fan. And let's get into a fanboy argument. Actually, something I've been thinking about as I'm still on my Batman kick, which is like kind of like I was reading these articles about the Marvel versus DC crossover, and in that when that happened in the 90s, Captain America fought Batman and Batman won. And now the joke is that Batman always wins, right? Like that's kind of the fun, if he has preparation time, he can beat anybody, beat Superman, he beats that. So, but here's my approach to it. Batman couldn't even beat Spider-Man, in my opinion, and I will tell you why. So we're gonna do a true comic book take here, and he definitely couldn't beat no Captain America. And I love reading on internet arguments for these hypotheticals of how Batman would beat the Punisher or Captain America or whoever. But dude, they're like, oh, he's got gadgets, dude. Here's the number one reason Batman couldn't beat anybody. The fucking cape. Could you imagine fighting or doing anything in that fucking cape, dude? Like that is such a huge hindrance. That is going to slow you down. I don't care how strong you are when you have this giant fucking cape. And as soon as you start swinging around, it's like wrapped around your arm. It's in your face. And that's why all the capes in the fucking recent movies are fucking CG. Like they don't even wear capes when they're filming typically, except for like certain scenes, you know, when you put for action scenes, there's no fucking cape. That's digitally added because that would fucking ruin your fucking day. You don't see anybody climb into the fucking MMA ring with a goddamn cape on. Like, so
Nacho Libre.
that's the number one reason that Batman would lose. Number two, we're talking Captain America here. Like that one pissed me off because I'm like, all right, Captain America's he's technically not super powered. He's not as strong as like Spider-Man or definitely not Superman. He's supposed to be like peak human strength. And the argument is that supposedly Batman is too. It's like, okay, but Captain America has increased stamina. He has faster reflexes. He has all this stuff that Batman, like, dude, it's not even a contest. And again, I can't help but refer to MMA. Like, especially when you go back to like the early MMAs, like 1, 2, and 3, when they didn't have weight classes and you'd get like the fucking Kempo karate guy versus a sumo wrestler and shit, like all these crazy fucking matches. And it's the same thing. And then Spider-Man, like, oh, well, he's got gadgets. He's got this and that. Oh, Punisher. That was my other favorite one. Cause I'm like, yeah, Punisher has guns and he kills people. Batman loses immediately. And Batman's like my favorite, dude. Like him and Spider-Man are like my favorite. They alternate number one spot depending on what mood I'm in.
Guns didn't seem to affect Batman in this last movie.
Yeah, you notice nobody shot him in the mouth. If you take just 5 seconds to aim, just line up a couple shots from a distance, you got a pretty good shot of taking that dude out. Plus, the Punisher doesn't just use guns; he uses grenades, he uses mines. Like he will kill your ass and not give a shit. And again, Batman being a favorite, it's kind of funny to argue against him because I love the character so much, but it's also absurd that comic book fanboys cannot admit that Batman would lose to almost anybody in the comic world because he's just a dude in a heavy ass suit, sweating his balls off, and he's got a batarang, and we're supposed to be excited about it. It's like, no, I love seeing Batman do his thing, but again, Punisher just too practical. He's not going out there in a heavy ass mask and a cape and a belt. He's got fucking guns and grenades, and you will die. You will die. You will lose. You will lose horribly.
What's another hero with just no powers? Who can he beat up?
A hero with like zero powers other than the Punisher.
I was just trying to think of
I don't know. I'm drawing a complete I don't know any superheroes right now. I can't think of a single superhero.
Yeah.
Like
I was gonna say
with or without powers.
I was gonna say Moon Knight, but he sometimes takes the powers from Khonshu, so
that would be like more of a fair fight. That would be like, I don't know who would win that one. That could go to a draw. Like I'd give it to Moon Knight because he just seems a little bit more brutal, a little bit quicker to maybe break some limbs or whatever. That's hard to say, but that's what's funny to me about Batman is like you go online, Batman can beat everybody. It's like, dude, the only time he'd stand a chance is if you put him in like a ring, like where he's got trunks on. It's just Bruce Wayne versus Frank Castle or something. It's like, okay, I could see that. You're on even ground. I could see him potentially pull that. But dude, if you went in a ring against Steve Rogers, he'd fucking get laid out, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Steve Rogers would lay that dude out.
What are you doing? Just going down the YouTube comment section and looking at everybody?
No, it was like I said, it started with this article because there was this really cool it was cool at the time. It's ridiculous now, but the Marvel versus DC thing that happened in the 90s, the event, and it was all these fights where they pit different heroes against each other, and the readers got to vote on who won. And granted, he barely won that fight. So then I had to go and I just Googled literally Batman versus Captain America just to go read opinion. And there's whole articles on websites of scenarios that people have come up with. And so I'm reading all these and I'm just smiling. I'm like, this is like the epitome of nerddom, but I don't give a shit. And then I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, that wouldn't happen. No, because everybody has the Punisher and Captain America losing to him. I'm like, no, like, what is this Batman? Like, for somebody who absolutely loves Batman, I could still be realistic about the fact that he's one of the most ineffective heroes in a real life situation.
All right, so Batman can beat up Robin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go.
I just wanted Robin.
I wanted one surefire win.
Like, dude, Daredevil would beat Batman. Because he's got the enhanced reflexes and everything. Like, just that he would lose. Maybe not badly, but he would not win in most scenarios. But
I feel sorry for your guy now, man.
Dude, that's the thing too, is you got to recognize. Like, I don't like the characters I like because of their super abilities necessarily. I like him more for, I like how he looks. I like his skill set. I like that he's a regular dude with the Batmobile and stuff. And that's why I don't want him in Superman's universe, because it's like, God damn, he's fucking worthless now. You got Aquaman and Green. You got all these. The Flash. The Flash is insanely powerful when you think about it, because he can change time. So, like, if you can go back in time, you're pretty much a god. Like, the Flash is more than just being fast.
Only with the cosmic treadmill.
But like Deadpool, like, his whole thing is he heals really fast. But that's not why I like the character.
Yeah,
it's very. Spider-Man would be one that definitely the powers play into, because he's one of the most unique superheroes.
Yeah,
one of the most unique skill sets. But as a kid, though, it's just the fucking suit and the name.
Yeah,
like I didn't think about all that stuff when I was younger.
He's definitely sweet, man. Like, looks wise, forget about it.
And you see how cool he is in the movies. He's got the best stories, dude. Like, he's a detective. He's got this other shit going on. It makes him amazing.
Even when he's just sitting there and everyone's staring at him, he's not even doing anything. You're just like, that's fucking Batman.
Right. That's fucking badass. Yes. But his stories, he has some of the best stories and like other abilities. But if you just break it down to combat, I'm so tired of people acting like he's this amazing fucking dude. It's like, no, he's really not. Like, if you put him up against somebody with just the slightest advantage, like Captain America, he's going down.
He's going down.
Like, he's fucking going.
Did you like the fight scenes in this last Batman better than the Batman versus Superman scene?
Dude, I really liked that Batman versus Superman scene. And I hate Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
But and a lot of that was lifted straight out of Dark Knight Returns, like a lot of it. When he's fighting Superman, and even the scene with Martha and the M60, all that dialogue and that M60 and everything is straight out of Dark Knight Returns. So that's part, but just that one scene though, where he comes up through the floor and starts kicking ass.
Yeah.
I really like that scene, man. Yeah. That's some great Batman. And I love, like, that dude, like, is shooting him in the back of the head. And like, and he's just taking it, cause he's got the armored helmet or whatever. And he's taking blows too. Like, I think I actually liked that fight. That's one of my favorite Batman fight scenes. Like, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, that was so well done.
When that guy goes head first into the floor, man, it's just like,
oh my God. Fucking brutal, dude.
That's why you don't mess with Batman.
Yes. Like, that scene almost makes the movie worth it. Like, like, that scene is so great. And even when he's beating up Superman, I like that. Again, came out of the comics, but like, I like seeing Batman in his element, just really giving people the business.
The what for?
Yeah, I can't complain about that. That's something Zack Snyder got right, is the fight scene. And and the camera angles were great too. You could see what was going on. It was lit well. And again, I need to see this movie again. I've only seen it once. Dude, my experience is affected by factors around me. And I hate that. And I hate to admit that, but it's true. But when I'm really annoyed at the fucking loud munching people behind me, it definitely is going to diminish my experience and affect how, you know what I mean? Even though I do my best, but I guarantee that impacted my experience when I'm surrounded by these fucking assholes that are just being loud and stupid. And I'm just like, I fucking hate you. Why did you buy seats behind me?
Talking during the movies.
Right. Talking during the credits. That's the worst. first part.
Oh, it was the movie.
Three out of 4 people will disagree with you, Rob. Including your own son. Your blood!
Whispering.
Give me back my son!
I could hear you. You were talking loud during the credits.
Steve couldn't even hear me when I was whispering.
This is Steve's stuff.
I am not.
All right, so we're going to talk about a comic book?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me pull this up. All right, so this week we did the first collected volume of a series called Queen and Country. Why isn't this coming up right away? Written by Greg Rucka, illustrated by Steve Ralston, lettered by Steve Conant. And I don't know when this came out, but it was called... Wait, what issue is this? Where am I? Operation Broken Ground. Yeah. So this was a story I wanted to read. So I was on like a pretty big like spy movie kick, Mission Impossible type stuff, which are great movies. So I was like, I want to read a comic like that. So I started doing research. I was like, what's a good comic that is kind of like set in the world of espionage? And I found this called Queen and Country. It's about an MI5 agent. Her name is Tara, I believe.
MI6.
I think is it MI5 in this?
No, it's MI6.
They are in it, but it's MI6. They talk about MI5.
She's part of the
MI5 is MI6 operates abroad. MI5 is like the FBI. They operate in country. Does that make sense? That's your difference.
Her name's Tara Chase, and so she's an agent. Starts off, she commits an assassination in another country in Russia, and that kind of kicks off all these other events that's for this story, including it. So it's kind of a small story. It's not some world-saving, globe-trotting adventure or anything. It's about the small group of characters that work in this MI6 office for the most part. There's retaliation. The Russians like fire a missile at their office, but they don't kill the people they intended to. And she's the main target. There's $1 million price tag on her head.
You know what I was reading, that missile that hit MI6, it actually happened in 2000. It was a Russian not anti-aircraft. What do you call those? RPGs. It was a Russian RPG, and it hit like the 8th floor or something like that.
No shit.
So I was like, oh shit.
Well,
I did not know that.
When they, let me see if I get this right and tell me if you agree. When they shot the rocket, when they retaliated with the rocket, they didn't know that it was who Tara was yet. They thought they were hitting the people they suspected of being behind it. And then once later on, then the Russian got that guy to find out who the actual assassin was. And then that's when they found out. Am I correct?
I will just agree with you because I had a lot of comprehension issues with this comic because of the black and white.
Black and white,
and so I had a little bit of trouble distinguishing who was who. So that sounds good. I don't know.
I can't remember at what point they found out it was Tara or not. I couldn't remember if it was before or after the rocket.
I thought it was after. Because they blew up the wrong people. They blew up like the Russian something or other. Those 3 people, that's what they were labeled. Or something. Those are the people they suspected were behind it because that would actually be their job or something. But because they went covertly and they did a favor for the CIA.
Yes. Okay, I know what you're saying now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot the beginning of the story.
The wrong people up the first time.
Right. No, you're right.
That makes sense.
I do remember that now because at the beginning they're talking about how she shouldn't even be over there.
Right.
It's been a while since I read it.
He didn't tell anybody he was plotting an assassination. He just sent his crew. Didn't
even tell his boss.
Right.
So what did you guys think of this comic overall, the story and everything?
Well, I like James Bond shit, so I actually liked it. The black and white was the Spud. What was that one guy with the weird head? Spuds. What was the other black and white?
Mackenzie?
That was the other black and white.
Scud the disposable assassin.
Now I like that in black and white.
Man, I'm glad you got that because it would have taken me another 5 minutes. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
He speaks Bob. I liked it. I thought it kept my attention because I like that spy shit though. I mean, I love James Bond.
I do too. That's why I wanted to read something like that, something a little different.
It was interesting because I didn't think I'd like just keep think it would move fast because it's a different medium. But they actually did a pretty good job. I mean, it got a little, it could have been a little more action or a little more, something, but for the most part, it was all right.
I was kind of waiting for like a big twist at the end.
Yeah.
And I was a little like, I mean, I guess there was a little bit of
small
a twist. I guess. But I enjoyed it overall. I did like the artwork. I did wish it was colored though. But it was very clean art style. Mm-hmm. It kind of reminded me of Clerks, the animated series, the art style a little bit. Despite my criticism earlier saying I couldn't distinguish people, that's just more my issue. I think it was mostly telling the dudes apart.
Yes.
Telling the men apart was a little rough. I was glad that the agent was female because then she was easy to distinguish from everybody else for the most part.
That's why they gave you the pictures of all of them and their names and
they
what
all
they do.
look the same.
I didn't. I never
they
even
all
referred
look
back
the
to that
same.
though.
They all look black and white.
Yeah,
they didn't look the same.
Yeah, they did. I know what he's talking about. It's like one of her coworkers and the other coworker, and then the other director, like they had the same hair and
they're very similar.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know. Like her direct boss had the wavy hair, the kind of more professional look, folded.
Yeah.
But then the other guys had that curly top, and it, in black and white.
Again, refer to the pictures in the beginning of the comic. Her name was Kate. There's Kate, Alexis, Tara. There were different hairstyles. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. It started off with her in sniper position, and then a quick shot to the head. I was like, "Oh, that guy is down." They showed a
nice escape scene.
Yeah, I love that, man, because I always think about shit like that. I was like, man, they don't have much time to get out. Everything has to go right, and of course it didn't. And she explains what she does. Like, first thing you got to do, find a crowd. And she's talking through it. That was kind of cool.
No, but she got across the border. I was like, what is she talking about? Give me back my picture. I was like, she give her ID or something?
That was brilliant.
Yeah, and then it was like a naked picture she gave. I was like, oh,
right.
Okay,
yeah,
that was good.
If you want to get past two guys, just show them nudity. And they're like, what? I forgot what I was doing. You make
that's totally believable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Like, whoops.
Yeah.
Oh, carry on.
So then she gets back and they think everything's great. And then one of the guys finds out who she was. So they try and kill her. And
she becomes the main target. And then it got a little convoluted with the whole, you're not allowed to have guns. Here's some fake guns. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this?
Right. Right. It's like they wouldn't let her have guns.
It's Great Britain. Yeah. They're not supposed to have the guns.
I know that. I know that. Country. Yeah, like law enforcement typically doesn't, but still, like that just seems like a weird thing to take away.
They're like using you as bait. I mean, come on, you can't have a gun then.
I like that though because in the comic, the toy and comic store like saved the day. He went in and bought some toy guns at a comic shop or something, and then he sent it down to make them look real. And
pellet guns.
Yeah. But she ends up kicking the Russians' ass, which I thought was pretty cool. And there was one scene she explains, like, if somebody's, what did she say? She was like, if somebody's coming at you, they're probably not going to
run towards them.
Run towards them if they got a gun because they'll freak out and they probably won't hit shit.
I don't know.
Even though she had a hole, she had a hole in her overcoat.
Yeah.
So there were some things that I thought were pretty interesting in this comic.
But it was a pretty tight little story overall. It wasn't like super impressive, but it was solid, and it did remind me of like the modern James Bond or Mission Impossibles to some extent. Not actually, the Mission Impossibles have way crazier stunts in them for sure. This was a little bit more boots on the ground, believable type stuff. But I did like it though.
I like the back and forth between MI5 and MI6, like the two heads of the departments. They're they're always like they couldn't stand each other, but they had to work together. Right. I thought that was pretty unique. Well, not unique, but pretty cool.
So yeah, I'd give this like I'd give it 2 stars, maybe 2.5. Solid stuff. I think it could have used more action in this particular medium, but it's a starting point though too. And I didn't read past the first 4 issues or whatever this was. And I don't know how long the series went on for, but I'm sure it picked up after that. This just being the introductory stuff.
This was more like a novel or a book, than it was a comic book,
like a Tom Clancy type thing.
Yeah, it was more like a.
But it moved really fast because it was a comic book. So they could, instead of describing everything, they could just draw it.
They could show it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I enjoy comics.
It's very unique. I don't think we've read one like this, quite like this.
No. I wanted to
where
change
it's not
it up
over the top. Too. It's more realism in a cartoon form,
Right.
It was. I
liked it. 2.5, 3.
Yeah, I give it a 2. I like my superhero stuff better. But it wasn't bad though. It was just middle for me.
Yeah.
I did not read on. Normally I'm like, hey, it went 7 more chapters. I didn't. I was like, I'm good.
I didn't
and it ended in a way that was fine, So
yeah, right.
It was a good ending.
Clearly setting stuff up because it's a comic book, setting up for more issues. But it's a tight little self-contained story, and I agree with Steve. I think in comics especially, I do prefer the bright, flashy superhero stuff overall.
Yeah, you do. You just spent an hour and a half talking about Spider-Man or Batman, who he could beat up.
Yeah.
I thought Tara Chase.
You probably spent 6 hours on Reddit going down the threads.
Oh no, I read like 2 or 3 articles on like Bleeding Cool and some comic book websites. I didn't read any comments. Yeah, I didn't read any comments because I was like, I don't even want to get into that. But I was just kind of curious.
I thought the lead character, Tara Chase, in this last comic, she was pretty badass. I liked her. She did everything that wasn't like unbelievable. Like I can picture.
Yeah, she was just very matter of fact. She was good at her job, had good instincts, and but yeah, I think the series centers on her moving forward.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. So none of us are going to read on this one?
I am not, but it's again, I think that's just part, for me, it has to do with the way I view comic books because I started reading them as a kid. I like that kind of stuff typically, not necessarily all the time, but I like the more superhero, flashy type stuff.
None of us like real heroes.
I agree with Shawn. I probably won't read on because of how I view comics.
Which is to not view them at all.
Right. The less, the better.
Right.
Yeah, but that was, I like that. I like how it was different from anything we read. So I did enjoy that a lot. I did
nice change of pace.
Just don't do it again.
I could read.
But I do want to find different stuff, and it was a tight story. It wasn't too long. They didn't decompress it. It moved quickly.
Yeah.
But some of it just wasn't very interesting. A lot of it was like office politics almost. Which isn't terribly, terribly interesting to me.
This is probably one of the fastest one I've got through though. Like I was just like I was done real quick.
So, in case you're wondering why we didn't do Neil Gaiman's Sandman, I started reading it, and I was in the waiting room when Maggie was having surgery, and I started reading it, and I was just like, I don't like this. I don't want to read it anymore. It wasn't bad. That's not to say it is bad. It wasn't my wheelhouse.
Did you finish the first volume, or did you just stop?
No, no.
Okay.
I wasn't enjoying it. I'm not into like magic and that kind of stuff. I'm not into the supernatural for the most part, unless it's like a horror movie or something. So it wasn't for me, but that is not a review. That's a personal taste thing. So Neil Gaiman's Sandman is widely revered as groundbreaking and amazing. So I'm not challenging that. It's just one of those things. And maybe it was just where my head was at that day too. That impacts what I want to watch and read as well. If I'm just not in the mood for that, I might circle back to it at some point though, because I did like the artwork. It was Sam Keith on art, and Sam Keith is one of my favorite artists. He created the Max. You may be familiar with the Max from the old MTV cartoon, which is based on a comic book. But Sam Keith he's got a really unique style, and I really enjoyed his art style. But I just wasn't into the supernatural stuff. I'm just not big into that. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's cool. I've already read it, so I'm
what did you think of it? Give us a review, a synopsis.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I like that aspect. I do like the magic. I like the supernatural. I like the dream world and heaven and hell and all that. The dichotomy of those, and I love that. It started off like real. I don't know, like Indiana Jones, just kind of, like it was the hunt for the mystic, like kind of like Hellboy started,
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it, and I kept reading on, and I think he meets her sister or something at the end. Death.
That's a good example of an exception for me, though.
Hellboy.
Death is like one of the main. Yeah, I was gonna say Hellboy because that's very supernatural based, but I think I like it because they come at it from a very kind of like Queen and Country, where it's just about these people. It's just like a day job for them to deal with the supernatural. So
yeah, I think
there are definitely exceptions.
And they're beating up on Nazis. That's always
right.
It's always entertaining.
I can't remember when you meet Death in that. It's been a while since I read it, but like they think they're getting Death in the beginning, and it's actually Dream. It's Dream.
Oh yeah, they get the wrong. I got that far where they got the wrong.
Oh, did you make it that far? Okay.
God or whatever. I don't know what they are. Are they gods? What are they considered? I don't like the god of death or the god of.
Right. Yeah. So I thought it was towards the end when you meet Death finally.
So it's more mythological.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, huge following. It was very huge at the time, but I'm very basic. I'm a basic bitch. I like my superheroes, my tights,
cape,
like my guns, capes that will completely ruin you if you try to fight in them.
Damn, this cape's heavy.
Yeah, like fuck, I can't see a thing. Have you ever been in a fight or seen a fight where somebody pulls a t-shirt over someone's head? They're fucked. You're fucked. I mean, you just imagine that with a cape now. Like you're so fucked. You are so fucked.
Shirt over the head and knee to your face.
Right, until you die. Like, dude, Incredibles had it right. Edna Mode had it right. She's like, no capes. Like yes, she was correct on that one.
All right, so do you have a comic picked out, or are you going through your list and you don't know yet?
Night.
What? No. No.
We already doing the Rocketeer next week.
Oh shit!
No,
that's right.
I said comic. Oh, you're agreeing.
Damn it! Oh, speaking of Nazis. And Timothy Dalton.
Yes.
I just watched Chuck.
He is in Rocketeer. Rob's doing word association over here.
Timothy Dalton. I had to get my brain focused to what.
I was like, Timothy Dalton is not a Nazi. I don't know why. That's new information.
I'm like, that is his name. Yes.
No, I just watched him in Chuck. He's the bad guy in one of the seasons. He's fantastic. He's so good.
He's definitely got the face of a bad guy.
He plays the villain so well, and he plays the villain in
that. Mads Mikkelsen is another one. It's like, yeah, you're just a villain all the time.
Yeah, but Timothy Dalton was Bond as well, though. So
yeah,
he actually wasn't a bad Bond.
No, he sucked.
I've never seen either
one of his Living Daylights is not that bad of a movie. Do you even know which one that is, Steve?
Yeah, I've seen it. It starts off when he goes to that prison or whatever he's trying to break into off the island coast. Very rocky. I think that's the one. I don't know. It's been a while.
All right. Here's a comic we can't read yet, but it will be on Comixology soon. And if it's not on there for free, I will buy it because it's something it's by Eric Powell, and somebody else is on it too, but it's called Big Man Plans. And they just re-released the the physical version, and it is going to come to Comixology finally. So we will get to Big Man Plans. I'm excited for you guys to read that. However, this week, let's do what?
Oh, I
you have an idea? You want
I thought you were going to say, however, I bought all the Lady Mechanicas this week.
Oh, are we doing Lady Mechanica? Did you buy that?
No,
we can't do that.
No, we can't do it. Right.
I will log out if he really wants to do it.
Now, what else you got?
I'm not a total asshole. You just saw me spend 20 minutes trying to get this podcast going by plugging in a pair of headphones at work.
See, and look at that exaggeration, 20 minutes. It was about 3 minutes total. Calm your tits.
Seemed like an eternity.
It might have been 7.
It was more like 7.
All right, we're gonna keep it simple. I was gonna pick a Spider-Man story either way, but I'm gonna do. It's called Spider-Man Blue. It's on the Marvel Unlimited app. It's written by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Do you recognize those names at all?
Yeah, yes. Superman.
Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb.
And he ended up working on like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
stuff. Yeah.
Right. So Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale also did The Long Halloween, the Batman story too, which is one of the best Batman stories, in my opinion.
You said Blue? Is that what you said?
Spider-Man Blue. So they did a whole thing where Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale kind of did like these 6-issue miniseries, and they were always named after a color. So they had like Hulk gray, Spider-Man blue. I think they did a Daredevil one that was probably red or something, but they kind of did like a new take on classic heroes for like 6 issues or something. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do Spider-Man Blue.
Nice.
You're my boy, Blue.
Spider-Man.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't. I just blew myself. I can't.
So that guy,
development.
When Spider-Man was going in the last movie, he was going into the high school for the first time after everybody found out he was Spider-Man. It was that guy. He was like, do a flip. I remember somebody asking, like,
that guy is in Severance too. I think it's the same guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
He's like shaped like a Weeble Wobble, right?
He was in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, he was in Shang-Chi. He was on the bus.
Right.
Yeah, but I thought I heard that guy say something. I think Shawn did too.
Yeah, he did. He definitely said, do a flip. I was listening for it this time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's that guy's in Severance too, I think, if it's the same guy.
It's your boy Trev or something like that.
Yeah.
I forget.
But yeah, Spider-Man Blue, getting back to Spidey. Also because I'm excited because my quarter scale Hot Toys Spider-Man will be arriving soon. It was supposed to be here this week. It got delayed. It was supposed to be here last week. Supposedly it's going to be here tomorrow now. And I'll have that, I'm sure, on display for everybody.
That's fucking nice. Dude,
those
giant fucking statues are so cool, man.
And this one's a figure, so it's different. It's like the same scale as this, but it's a Hot Toys.
Yeah.
So it's posable. But it has this crazy base. It's based on the Homecoming outfit. Very excited about it.
I will never get used to me at my age just happy to move a figure's legs or its arms. I was like, does this stop at 50, 60? When does this stop? This has got to stop.
It doesn't. If you're in it now, you're in it. Like you are in it. You're going to stay in it. It is fun. I don't care how juvenile it is or may seem. Literally, we'll be sitting on the couch, which is on the other side of my computer here. And Maggie and I will be watching TV, and she's always sitting between my computer and me. And I'll just be like staring past her over at my stuff. Behold,
and my stuff.
And she's like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "My RoboCop poster." Or like, "What are you looking at?" My Deadpool statue, my Batman, like whatever. And I'll just be staring at it, just smiling.
You're like, not you.
But like, she won't notice and I will. I'll just be like looking at my stuff, and then she'll like out of the corner of her eye be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm staring at Batman." Like, it makes me happy. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
That's why I was so excited when you came down this last time, because I was like, somebody finally appreciates this room,
right?
You know?
And that's exciting too, like to share that feeling with somebody who is also like, "Oh, this is so cool." And I get excited for stuff like I like that you have you like Rocket Raccoon and Firefly. I'm not really into that. You know, I like that stuff, but I'm not like a fan. But I like seeing that stuff. I like seeing the stuff people are passionate about, what they're collecting, what collectibles are available. It just makes me happy. Like I don't need to like enjoy the particular thing you enjoy necessarily to also enjoy it.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, like I've been staring at your Batman statue the whole time. I haven't even been looking at you this whole podcast.
I need a light on this thing, you know?
Right?
Hang on. Actually, I forgot I got a light.
I would appreciate your movie room more if I didn't have to go up 25 goddamn steps.
I'm going to get one of those chairs where it just lifts you up.
I would love it. I would use it.
I'm so going to do it. I was like, I don't care.
There we go. Is that better? Can you see Batman better now?
No.
He looks less. No? He looks less Batman-y in the light.
The reflections hitting the.
He's better in. He's better in the dark.
Oh, you like the dark version better?
He looks more menacing.
How visible he was. But yeah, dude, I just look, I'll pet him sometimes, you know, get some adjust his cape. I'm an idiot. I don't know what to tell you.
You know what I look at? I look at stuff like that and I just think, man, that's more shit I gotta dust.
Yeah.
Dust. I don't dust. I just leave the dust on it.
I do dust. Not regularly, but there are times where I'm like, okay, I got to do something about this. So I'll get the Swiffer out.
I did one. Because in 10 years? How long have I had these Matrix figures? It's been a long time. But I think I did
That's the other reason I don't want tiny figures anymore is because those are a bitch to fucking dust, dude. Yeah. And then they fall, like a lot of them, like you go to put them back and they just fall over. You're like, come on, you were standing. Like,
yeah, I did it one time.
With the bigger things.
I cleaned them all. I got like a damp cloth and I went through each, under the arms and on the face and the neck crevice. And I was like, never again. I was just going to be dirty. Blow on them. If that doesn't work, then that's as far as I go.
The larger collectibles are much easier to dust and they're much more durable typically too. So you don't have to worry about, I don't know, moving one of the limbs incorrectly and it doesn't stand up or something snaps off or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, very excited for this, the Spider-Man quarter scale figure.
How happy are you going to be when that hit comes in the mail?
Oh, dude, I'm stoked. I'm just anticipating tomorrow at this point. It's going to be here. It's going to be here in the afternoon.
We're fucking kids. We are giant kids. It's ridiculous.
And Rob is our dad.
Rob's
he's like you fucking idiots.
I can't teach you anything.
No, I'm not trying to teach you anything. Y'all are way.
Rob's like, I'm going to go enjoy the taste of this beer.
And lament the loss of my cable.
The sports thing is oof.
But you have options, though. You do, like I said, if you're
willing
to try a different company.
I like saving this much money. It's really nice. I think I just got to wean myself. I'm getting a lot more done around the house.
Rob's like building
dude,
shit.
If you kick cigarettes, you could save like $1,000 a month. Right there. That's $1,000. Easy.
And then you could buy giant Batmans.
Right? If you kick your Hot Toys, you could save $2,000 a month. Oh boy. That's
the thing though. I'm not trying to save money. I'm trying to spend it all while I'm here. My kids could sell all this shit when I die, when it goes up in value, and they'll appreciate.
You don't want to be buried with your Batman?
No. Dude, I tell my kids there's a line from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Danny DeVito's like, when I'm dying, just throw me in the trash. Like, I just don't, I'm dead. I fucking save money there. Like, don't spend money on a funeral.
Are you going to be cremated?
Yeah, I told him to cremate me, but I also told him too, I was like, if you can make money off my corpse, go that route. Like, if there's somebody who's like
needs a liver
well, if there's somebody willing to pay for body parts or medical, I don't think medical science will pay, but it's like, even if there's some pervert that wants to like do horrible things to my carcass and will give you like $500, do that. Like
the Cleveland quarterback will.
Yeah, exactly. Sell it to Deshaun Watson. I don't give a shit. I'm dead. I don't fucking care. Like don't waste money.
I just didn't need that in my head. Like that is something that will forever be there.
Or I want to go completely over the top and get me taxidermied. Those are the options, basically. Sell me to some sicko or get my whole corpse taxidermied.
I think that's illegal.
Like it's one of those two. It's just like throw me in the dumpster or get me fucking fully reticulated and taxidermied and have me set up in the fucking corner of the room or whatever.
You should put your ashes inside that Batman. Like, that'd be cool.
No, I want them to sell all this stuff or keep it if it's sentimental to them, whatever. I don't care. I'm dead. I don't care. Do as you will, but do not spend $10,000 on a fucking funeral. Like, you want to have a service or whatever, have it at a fucking bar. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Have it at a house. I just think it's such a waste of money to spend that much money on a fucking dead person. Like, give me that money now. Like, you have 10 grand to spend on me when I'm dead? What the fuck? Like, I want that shit now.
I could buy 2 Hot Toys with that.
Right.
Nice.
All right. So next week we'll be back with the Rocketeer. Or maybe this week actually is how that works out. Are we going to record Thursday?
Yeah, I'm fine. I watched the Rocketeer.
And then we got Rocketeer, and then we'll be back with Spider-Man Blue by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. Tim Sale did the covers for the comic that we read today. I don't know if you noticed the covers, but those were all done by Tim Sale.
Wait, I want to before we end this, I want to read you guys this. I was looking at Richard Dean Anderson and like how old he. No, how I didn't realize how old Richard Dean Anderson was. He was like mid 30s when he started MacGyver. So I went and like I was just looking at the history of his life, and I was reading this shit, and I was like, this has got to be made up. Like, this can't be true. So I just want to read you this snippet. After studying drama at St. Cloud State University and at Ohio University without completing his degree, he briefly moved to New York before settling in Los Angeles, where he worked as a juggler and a street mime and in a Renaissance-style cabaret. He worked briefly in Marineland, where his jobs included holding fish in his mouth for killer whales to leap up and snatch. Subsequently, he appeared in plays and formed a rock band called Rick Dean and Dante with his friend Carl Dante. I was just like, this is made up, dude. Nobody works as a person who keeps a fish in their mouth for killer whales. And then
that's SeaWorld, though. That's what they did at SeaWorld.
Yeah, but I love SeaWorld.
Like, he was one of those guys.
Was in Ontario, I think.
What makes sense? He's a hockey fan, so he's probably from Canada.
But I believe that, dude, people who want to be actors, they'll work a variety of entertainment jobs or gigs or whatever until they land
you ever find
a significant role.
No, not yet. It's got to be in this attic. There's no way I would.
That was before eBay and shit. I got you that shit.
Like, yeah, Rob got me a sign
when you had
picture of Richard Dean Anderson.
When you had to like fucking call people,
right?
I just how old that is.
I just kept
pre-internet.
I knew he played hockey and stuff like that, and that's all I knew of him. But when I just started reading this, I was like,
I didn't know he played hockey.
Juggler, mime,
yeah,
held fish in his mouth. I was like, dude, this guy's.
I believe it.
This guy's awesome.
I fully believe that. Yeah, and that's, I said, people want to work in entertainment. They'll work in any area of entertainment. For instance, you might just start a podcast that you're so desperate to work in entertainment. So, yeah, you never know what somebody's going to do. But yeah, I remember seeing stuff like that at SeaWorld, though. They'd have somebody, I don't remember if it was in their mouth necessarily. Oh, I think they did do that, like to get a kiss or whatever they would call it.
Yeah.
The tongue used to come out and shit.
Yeah.
I always held that guy in high regard, and now he just step up now. I was like, oh man, that's awesome. The dude's great.
All right, so we're gonna dip out.
That's all I have.
Next week next week Rocketeer, following week Spider-Man, and then maybe after that, Big Man Plans.
Yes. Sounds great. Can't wait.
All right.
Rob, you can't wait, right? Yep.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Negative.
Peace.